GG.
Ah, nice.
Hey, yo, welcome back to another Division 2 video. And as you can tell by the title, we're going to be getting into the build that you guys have all been asking for. I did upload some gameplay literally the other day, and I said if I get 150 likes, I'll upload it very soon. And you guys did that in one day. So yeah, here I am, speaking at like, what time is it? 5 a.m. commentary for you guys. So yeah, appreciate it. So hit that like button if you enjoyed this build, and if you're new to the channel, make sure you hit that subscribe button, bell notifications on so it can bell up your yard, ring up the phone, and yeah, you can be like, oh my days, Division Addiction has posted another video, let me go check it out. So yeah, anyway, as you can see, Ben is really doing a good job here with all the stuff that we need done, and yeah, he's just made the dark zone such a better place with all the bleed hives, and you know, a lot of shotguns. He's increased the shotguns. So guys, if you guys wanna get angry and, you know, talk to people, this is the guy. Just come here, have a little chat, and he tells you why he done it. And you know, he's being forced to do it by these people here. So you know, it's not all his fault. Anyway, enough waffling, we're just gonna get straight into the build. Alright, cool. So as you can see, I'm running a 911-3. We've basically got 500k armor, and now let me tell you something. I was literally going to not upload this build because it wasn't 500k, but it's 499k. I'm bare fussy with my builds, but it is what it is. Anyway, for the health we got 38k in there. That could be increased, that's quite low. For the skill power we got 2.5k skill power. Now a lot of you guys are gonna say straight away, this build is cheesy, this takes no skill to use, please stop using these builds, you're making a game boring. Mate, listen, is what it is. This build is counterable. Put on a bleed hive, put on seekers, put on anything, put on a rifle, and I tell you now, I will struggle with this build to beat your build. This build isn't OP. It doesn't make me as strong as Ben in the back there, you know, to increase things. You know what I'm saying? Ben can make things go on, trust me. But me, this build ain't all that, but it's different, and I just feel different using this, you know, because mainly because of the gun. If I wasn't using this gun, I wouldn't feel as different. But yeah, anyway, enough waffling from me. We're just gonna get straight into this build. So we're gonna get into the weapon, which is the AKM, Black Market AKM. And you know, a lot of you guys have been asking to me, what's the damage, what's this? It's not amazing. It's 26k, and you know, I did decrease the damage a lot because I wanted to make this build perfect to my playstyle. And yeah, you're gonna see why I put the damage down. So it's 26k damage, we got 600 RPM there, and we got 60 in the mag. The main talent here is breadbasket. Now a lot of you might say, why are you not running measured? And because measured with this gun, one, if you use measured, the first half of your bullets, you know, the rectifier is gonna be increased, but the damage is gonna be lowered. And then the last half of your mag, you know, the RPM is going to be decreased, and then your weapon damage is going to be higher. But weapon damage on this is quite high already, and you know, if you want to put the RPM even more down in this weapon, it's going to feel worse. So I was like, no, let's go with another talent, and I picked breadbasket. And this is landing body shots as a stacker bonus, 50% headshot damage to the next headshot for 10 seconds, and the max stack is free, and you'll see it on your gun whilst you're shooting. As soon as you see that free, you want to shoot straight at the head. So yeah, that's what I've been doing anyway, and I just, you know, I've seen a difference in the weapon damage whilst I shoot ahead. It does really help. For the second talent here, we got extra, which is plus 20% magazine capacity to the weapon, which is why I got 60 in the mag. Now a lot of you might say, why don't you run a leg grow, why don't you put extra 10% rectifier on there? And that's why I'm running with the chatterbox. You know, for the last talent there, we should all know by now, which is blabbermouth. While holstered, reloading your weapon within 5 seconds after a kill grants you 15% rate of fire for 10 seconds. So you know, we're getting, you know, perfect Allegro on this gun basically, here and there sometimes. So yeah, that's the reason why I've gone with it like this. So yeah, for the gear pieces, as you can see, I'm running 2 Troop Patriot, I'm running 3 Giller and 1 Thermos. So let's get straight into the mask. 2 Troop Patriot, which gives us that 10% total armor. So you know, if you want to know ways of putting your armor up, that's one way. So attributes here, we got 500 skill power, we got basically 9k health on here, and you know, for the mod slots, we got offensive mod slot, which is putting up that assault rifle damage. For the chest piece, guess what? I'm running Bloodsucker, and yeah, that is because I love this talent. This talent in TU6 is just fun to use. I've been using it on most of my builds because, you know, one, most of my chest piece put up the armor, and I can't recalibrate, you know, that chest piece because the total armor percentage is just perfect, and then it's got Bloodsucker on it, so, you know, I don't want to change the attribute just because of the talent. Anyway, as you can see, I got 30% total armor on there. We got 9k armor, and we got 6% weapon damage. For the mod slots here, we got the 2 defensive mod slots, and we got 1 offensive mod slots. We got the 2 defensive mod slots, which giving us that total armor percentage on the mod slot as well. When you're running defensive mods and you're doing armor, you want to make sure you get total armor onto the mod slot because it puts up the armor even more. So the offensive mod slot here, we just got that for the assault rifle damage. It's just putting it up. We're just stacking damage here as well. For the holster, we got the 2 offensive mod slots on here, and we got attribute 6.5% crit chance. We got 737 skill power. Again, we got offensive mod slots, which is putting up the assault rifle damage. So we're just stacking damage. Knee pad, we got a Gidder Guard knee pad with 16.8k armor. For the main talents here, which is a unique talent, is empowered, which is plus 20% skill power. Now this synergizes with something else that I'm going to show you later on in this video about the build. So yeah, this, you want to make sure you want to have this if you want to run this type of build. So for the mods, we got 2 defensive mod slots. Again, they're the same mods, just putting up that armor, guys. For the glove, we got 1 Fenris glove, which is 10% assault rifle damage. So that's what's putting up a damage on this build. When you run AR builds, you want to make sure you have a Fenris piece. For the attributes, we got 3% LMG damage. I'd like to change that to, I don't know, maybe health or crit chance. I don't know, anything other than a gun that I'm not going to use with this build because I ain't using it. Anyway, we got 11% assault rifle damage on there. I'd like to find one that's 13%. I've been farming, I've been crafting. Guys, please don't put it in the comments, why don't you just craft on, why don't you just farm? Guys, I've been doing that, trust me, and I just can't get that extra 2% that I want, but it is what it is. Anyway, for the talents here, we got Wicked. When you apply a status effect, you gain 15% weapon damage for 20 seconds. Now, a lot of you might say, why don't you run Perfectly Wicked? And that's because Perfectly Wicked don't come on Fenris gloves. From what I've seen anyway, it comes on, you know, the Sokolov glove, which is this one here. So I'm not going to put a Sokolov glove and then put assault rifle damage on it. No, I'm not going to do that just for Perfectly Wicked. You know, what I've realized is you don't want to go out your way for perfect talents just because it's perfect. It could mess up your build and make it worse. You know, you're downgrading your build if you do that, in my case anyway. So yeah, that's why I've gone with a Fenris glove with these talents on it. For the bag, running a Gidder Guard bag. We got attributes here, we got 14.5% total armor, we got 14.7k armor. I would like to increase that, that's really low, but we're just working with what we got. I wasn't expecting to release this build this soon because you guys just smashed that like button like mad. So yeah, the next attribute here, we got 4.5% crit chance. I like to change that to weapon damage, but we're just gonna run with this build for now. You know, when I make builds, I do usually make them better, but I just don't re-upload them because it's useless. You know, I'm not gonna re-upload the build that I've already showed just with improvements. I just re-upload the gameplay. So I make the build better than I do the gameplay. So for the talents here, we got Spark, which is damaging enemies with skills or explosives, grants 15% weapon damage for 15 seconds. So yeah, this talent, which is just gonna always proc for me, this is what's making the build really good. So for the unique talent here, we got 15% armor, which is putting that armor up more. Utility mod slot, putting the skill power up for the hive and skill power overall. Defensive mod slot there for the armor. So, you know, a lot of people have been using Spark in TU6. I've been noticing, you know, since TU6 came out, a lot of people have been using Spark. But yeah, I really do like this talent, and you know, if you want to run a build similar to this, I do suggest putting this on. So you've seen all the gear pieces, you've seen the weapon. Now I'm going to show you the skills, and this is the main thing about the build. So as you can see there, I got the bleed hive, and if you want to see the mod slots, we got 31.5% duration, we got 74.8% damage, and we got 30% skill haste. Now the bleed hive is synergizing with this talent Wicked, because you're gonna gain a status effect onto the enemy, which gives you that 15% weapon damage. It's also going together with Spark, because when you damage an enemy with your skill, you get extra 15% weapon damage as well. So them two talents, Wicked and Spark, are going together when I place my hive down. So that's what's increasing the damage by 30%. just from them two talents. And you know, a lot of you might say, why don't you run Sadist on your gun, which is this talent here, deal plus 30% weapon damage to bleeding enemies. So you know, I'm running the hive, the bleed hive, which is gonna make enemies bleed, and you know, that's gonna give me extra 30% weapon damage if I put this talent on there. But I just wanted to be different. You know, that's what everyone would do if you're running a bleed hive, but I just wanted to choose a different talent with this gun because it hits harder, and it's, you know, it's just a gun that's not used. So I just wanted to change it up. I didn't want to go with the same thing that everyone does. And now the main thing that everyone's getting upset about is this skill here, which is the Firefly Demolisher. And the Firefly Demolisher damages or destroys enemies' weak points, skill proxies, or environmental explosives. Now that is not the main thing that's, you know, annoying people in the game right now. It is the fact that this thing heals you. Now before I go any further explaining it, I just want to show you what perk is making that proc. With the specialization, we're going with the Technician. And the reason why we're going with the Technician is for quite a lot of reasons. The first reason is that it gives you 50% plus skill power. You know, we got these mods here for the hive. If you're running a hive, you know, it's going to help you. But the main thing for this build is this perk here, which is equipping a skill grants 50% bonus armor, and when a skill dies, it recovers 20% armor. So again, let's go back into the shooting range. Let me damage myself. So imagine someone's shooting me and I'm in a fight. I place my bleed hive down, you know, it starts bleeding them, I'm shooting them, I start weaving again, and I throw that. Did you see my armor go up? That's basically healing me. Now look, it's back again. It's literally a 5-second cooldown. Shooting, bleed hive, whatever. Healing me again. Throw it again, and look, my armor is going up by 20%. And it might not seem a lot right now, but when you're in a gunfight and you're doing this just throughout the whole thing, it's pretty crazy. It's pretty mad, and a lot of people are complaining about it right now, saying that it should get nerfed and, you know, it needs a fix. But the thing is, this build is very countable, and you know why? Let me show you why. Hazard protection, what does that say? 20%. What does that mean? Put a bleed hive down, please, Ben. Put a seeker down, Ben, and I'm dead. It's not hard, literally, it's not hard. And you know, I just find that a lot of people do get angry when they see people changing up their play style and using different things, and you know, they just want the devs just to take it out of the game and, you know, ruin people's fun, because, you know, this build is fun to use, I'm not gonna lie, but people say it's cheesy, people say that you take no skill to use this. But to be honest with you, in Division 2, there's a lot of things that you can go around by saying that someone has no skill. And you know, if you're using this and you're using a gun that hardly anyone uses, then come on, you got to have some sort of skill to do that. But yeah, I'm going to be uploading weekly here and there. I'm going to be putting some more builds up for you guys, some more gameplay. I got a couple new ideas that I got coming, some new little series for you guys.
Take a look at what I've got for you.
I ain't coming to see what you got. You probably got trash. Let me see what you got.
Hello, Agent.
Oh my days. You know what? Yeah, if I see, listen, you're fired. You're fired. Get out of it. Get out. You're fired. Don't act like you can't hear me. Oi. Anyway. Yeah, I hope you guys enjoyed this build video. Sorry there wasn't a lot of gameplay, but I did upload the 12-minute gameplay before this. So yeah, I'm out. And yeah, see me in the dark zone. Time's out, guys. Get off the video now. See you later.